Wow, that was extraordinarily loud.
Yeah, it's kinda loud.
Was that loud on your end?
A little bit loud.
Oh,
That's okay.
wow. Holy crap. I don't think I'm gonna do that again. All right, everybody, welcome. Thank you guys for stopping by. Tonight I have TN Tactical with me. Another YouTuber, good guy, good channel. We're gonna be talking about Glock and some other things probably as well. Also taking Q&A from the chat room. So, as you can see here at the bottom, Copper Jacket Arms. Go check out Copper Jacket Arms. RTT 10 gets you 10% off anything at Copper Jacket Arms. That is my company, and I do appreciate your support. Speaking of support, if you want to guarantee that your question gets read, hit that super chat button and help out this poor channel a little bit. So, TN Tactical.
Yes, sir.
You want to introduce yourself?
So, my name is Jake from the small YouTube channel TN Tactical. Do lots of gun reviews based out of East Tennessee, but lately I've become a lot more well known, I think, from a lot of my red dot drop tests. I know that you, Matt, seem to really enjoy some of those as well. Let's see, been doing it for about 4 years now. Started branching other things, got a little bit into politics a little bit, kind of backed off of politics a little bit. And lately, I've just been hitting the grind, man. Just talking about current events like we're doing tonight, and still cranking out lots of reviews, lots of good content every Friday. Usually, you can also find me on Instagram. Small following there, TN Tactical 21. I also have an X account that I barely use. Again, TN Tactical 21 there as well.
Yeah, and so the pinned comment in your chat room right now is his YouTube channel. So you can click on that to go subscribe to him at any point in time during this live stream. Before we get into much more, I just want to give a quick shout out to Chris from 740, Live Life IJA, maybe. The Saint, Fluffy, and Sully Cortez are the people that are out in the chat room right now. I do appreciate you guys getting out there this early. So Jake, one of the things that has been catching, you mentioned your red dot, in optic torture tests, which if you guys don't know, there's torture tests, there's like drop tests, then there's a level that breaks cinder blocks, a level that no red dot manufacturer had ever thought would ever happen, and that is what he does on his channel. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the abuse.
That's what we're here for.
And but on top of that, here lately, and I think it sort of started with some of the SIG stuff. You've been getting more into the sit down, like where you're at now, industry stuff. And
Absolutely, yes, sir.
yeah, so tell everybody a little bit about why you. I don't want to use the word pivot because you're still doing your regular videos, but why you pivoted into that.
So the way I treat this is basically my videos that I put out where I'm sitting down talking like this typically come out on Sunday nights, Monday nights, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. It really just depends how volatile the topic is. Like, for example, the SIG P320 stuff, all the ND stuff going on there, that was like a firestorm. So I put out like freaking 5 videos in that 1 week. I treat those videos as sort of like a different flavor of my channel. It's something where it's more personal, more sit down, more just talking you and me, conversation based. I want to add that in because, well, like you've probably seen as well, typical gun review stuff like that, unless it's just something crazy like showing off an FRT or something, it typically doesn't get a lot of views. And putting out just 1 video a week, while I like doing it, it's kind of like a high stakes thing because especially with gun content, it's a gamble. Are you going to get that yellow dollar sign? Is it going to get age restricted? You just don't know. It really just depends on who from India is going to be reviewing your particular video that day when you hit the mail review button. So for me, there's a lot of reasons. Number one was obviously that's high stakes, like I just described. But number two, I wanted to put multiple flavors to my content. And number three, these are just like bonus videos to get more videos out for people that want it. Now, some people may not like some of the sit down videos. I get that. You don't have to watch those. but I try to make sure every Friday I put out a video that's more like a review, long form style, like I normally do. And then these other things are just sort of like icing on the cake, if you will. Very easy, very super fast. I can make one of my sit down videos in like an hour, edited, uploaded, ready to go. And for me, I think I've seen a lot of growth with that. Just the consistency is there. And plus, again, we talk about high stakes. Well, these sit down videos are not high stakes at all. I could just make them, spit them out as I want to, just give my thoughts, not have to worry about spending money on guns, ammo, or anything else to make the video itself. I still like making the long format videos, the review stuff. I love the cinematic intros. I like making content. Like I love making videos, and really I kind of like making these sit down videos too, as long as they're interesting. And lately, it seems like with all the SIG stuff and all the Glock stuff now that we don't have any shortage of stuff to talk about. So that's why.
That's Yeah, absolutely. There's not a shortage. I mean, but well, Sig, Glock, Anderson, going away. The Scar going away. I mean, what 2, 3 other gun companies have gone out of business just this last year. I mean,
Yes, sir.
the whole T-Rex arms thing. There's no shortage
Hmm.
of anything to talk about in the gun industry. If you're into that, real quick, Randy reviews it, and Mel Jones has showed up. So thank you guys for showing up. Randy also has a good channel out there.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
yeah, and the
Just
arms been. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just so you know, this is a fun fact about me and Randy. We only live about 30 minutes away. I had the privilege of spending the night in the hotel room when we went to a night vision event with this man, and he is an outstanding gentleman, very polite.
Well, good. I've not met him. I don't think I've talked to him. Maybe in Messenger a couple times, maybe on Instagram or something like that. But no, I've watched a bunch of his videos, and yeah, I like his content. The Armsman showed up, and DEFCON Supply as well. So DEFCON Supply says the Trump slump. The Trump slump is a real thing.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. That I think we've seen a huge collapse in the industry. I mean, I know I watch the TGC news videos. I don't know if you watch those where they put out like the weekly or monthly what is it, like gun sales and background checks and all that. And while it's not a correlation, because sometimes people buy 2, 3, or more guns on a single background check, yeah, the trend is it's been going down. It's been going down further than it's ever gone. And like I can't remember, it was like last 5 or 6 years. It's crazy. So the Trump slump is real. I think that's why we're seeing Anderson shut the door. We're seeing all these other companies shut the door. There was what's the one that was just announced recently with a Chapter 11 or something because they owe a bunch of money. Liberty Arms or Live Free Armory something.
Live free, yeah, live
Live
free
Free. That's
armory.
what it was. Yeah. So it's happening like crazy, and makes me wonder if it's a combination of the Trump slump, but also just sort of a lack of innovation. I feel like we've not really seen anything out there that's been innovative, except for something weird like the Lago Arms Alien with that the way it cycles. That's kind of neat. We're seeing stuff with thermals coming cheaper and stuff, but other than that, like I'm not really seeing much out there that's really interesting, and that's kind of making it even harder for me to make like content as well.
Yeah, so last week, on Thursday, I had Chris from 740, another great dude. Go check out his channel. Um, you've seen me in my long form videos shout out not only TN Tactical in various videos that he's done the same product that I was reviewing, but Chris, you guys have seen me and Chris together a bunch of times. Um, we talked. Somebody out in the chat room asked, "What are you guys looking forward to?" Like this upcoming like shot show and just coming up in the industry, and like I didn't have an answer. I said nothing. Like there is, I can't think of anything that I'm really looking forward to.
I agree with you. I feel like, and that kind of goes into this whole Glock V thing. I really feel like, ooh, I'm about to get into it. You know, this Glock V thing. I have a theory that I want to talk about why they're doing this, and I've turned a corner with my thoughts on this. I know I put my initial video talking about how they pretty much bent the knee. I mean, was that partially clickbait? Kinda, I guess maybe, but it really was my initial reaction, like most people had. I think they might be getting ready to do something a little bit more innovative, but they're kind of going to be, I guess, sort of copying other people's homework too with their
Yeah,
Gen 6, I think.
maybe. DB2A7 says, "Dang, Matt, de-wrench me." I don't know what the hell that means. It looks like there's a little gray. Any of my mods out there, Abigail, um, I think Chris maybe, but any of my mods out there, click on DB2A and see what that's all about, please. Um, so before we get into DEFCON Supply said he's skipping SHOT Show this year. I am too. I'm not going to SHOT this year either.
I've never been to SHOT. I have no intention of going. I'm definitely a homebody. I like to stay at home, close to my wife and dogs and chickens and ducks and cats. I don't want to go to Vegas. I have no interest.
I alluded to this in a Rumble video. I never posted it on Instagram because on YouTube because I had gotten a strike and then I had gotten another strike and then I kept having other things I had to post. But I posted a video on Instagram talking about how they had an 80% drop in views. That happens to also correlate with winning a couple strikes against YouTube. Retaliation? Maybe. But I'm not so sure, and I'm gonna just be honest with you guys right now. I'm not so sure that there will be an RTT Guns Gear in 2026. I've not made that decision yet. So it really kind of depends on how this winter starts shaping up because things always get a little bit better with views and stuff like that in the wintertime. So yeah, I don't know.
I guess so. You're thinking about maybe taking a pause from it, or thinking about taking a break, or maybe like a permanent retirement, or
Uh, well, I've been doing it for 13 years. I started in 2012. John Patton, um, the Gun Collective, John Patton essentially is the reason that I'm still doing it today. Um, and then I thought maybe I'll stop at 15 years, and this has been 2025 has been the worst year for my channel in 13 years. And do I really need to keep going? You know?
I get it. I mean, you got to decide in a way like, is it worth the cost? I mean, is it worth the time? A lot of times there's other things out there that are more important. Family, friends. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there you can put your time and the energy in. Um, I'm still kind of passionate about right now. Like I really do like the content creation process. Editing, not so much because it's takes so much time, but I still like it. And unfortunately, like I'll still get videos that you know how it is. We get like just a couple hundred views, but I still put all that time and energy in. I do enjoy it though. Like honestly, this is going to sound silly, but like sometimes I'll just go back and maybe I'm like sitting on the toilet or something. I'll go back and watch some of my old intros just because I'm like, man, that was a killer. I like that. That was fire. Like I like to kind of make stuff almost kind of like stuff I would want to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't like it, then how could I expect someone else to like it that doesn't even know me? You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of been sort of like my guiding direction with how I put up my content. And honestly, there's stuff that I make some videos that just absolutely suck, and people have never seen them because I never published them. And because I feel like I don't want to watch this. Why would I expect someone else to watch this? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's been a good direction for me. And like I said, the sit down videos like this, it's kind of made things a little bit easier in a sense because it gives me more opportunities to put out videos without so much overhead to make them.
Sure. Sure. DB said, not much exciting or breaking going on in the firearms world. I alluded to that a little bit. Like last week, somebody asked if either Chris or I was going to review the High Point AR. I'm like, why? Like, it's a 500 and some odd dollar AR that's all mil spec.
Yeah, I
I
remember that. Yeah.
I don't know why I would do that. Like, it's a mil spec gun.
You're talking about the, was it the High Point you were saying? The
Yeah,
High
the High
Point AR?
Point
Yeah,
AR. Yeah.
yeah. You were talking about that last time with Chris. So, yeah, I was watching that earlier today, actually, and 500, $550, that makes, like, no sense. It's a High Point, which grants an AR, but you literally can get cheaper ARs. Like you said earlier before, Radical Firearms. Why would you get a High Point? A brand that's notorious for having issues when you can get a radical firearm, AR-15. The thing is, I've not had a good experience with radical. That's just me, my one-off sample, mainly the handguard twisting and stuff, and not being able to lock in place. But that could have just been a lemon on my part. I hear good things though from other people.
I have. So I understand some people are probably here to listen to Glock stuff. We'll be getting to that here very shortly. But so for those of you guys who've been around the channel for a long time, there was a rifle that was always the rifle that I was reviewing red dots, scopes, all that stuff on. It was the same rifle over and over again. That was my test bed. That was a Radical Firearms. It has it's retired now. It has 22,000 rounds on it, something like that. Between 22 and 30,000 rounds on it. There has been parts replaced in it over that period of time, but it took 20,000 rounds to shoot out the barrel to the point where it was keyholing at 10 yards. That's pretty
That's
good.
good value. Yeah, that's really good value.
And it was like
I'll take that any day.
Yeah, it was like a $400 gun when I bought it. And then I have Radical Defense, which is their higher priced LE and military line. The Radical Defense Patrol 14.5 Patrol rifle, and well, that thing's just bulletproof. One of the nicest rifles I have, but it's also a $1,200 rifle. You know.
Yeah, most of my ARs, I know you're gonna laugh and make fun of me because I know you don't really care for it, but a lot of my ARs, honestly, are PSA ARs built usually from a lower. I know.
No.
Sometimes I'll splurge. I'll get the 10.5-inch upper to get my good trailer park vibes going. But I'm starting to branch into some other things. You can probably see on the back wall. There's a few other interesting looking things besides, PSA stuff. And I'm starting to work towards getting to that fun little mid-tier section up from the poverty trenches that I've kind of started this channel in. I'm not really a man with many means, but I'm just now getting to the point where I can maybe get a little bit nicer gear now.
Well, if I can bump you in a direction of mid-tier rifles, right, that 1,000-ish range, I would check out the Radical Defense stuff. I would check
that's
out
their higher tier. Yeah.
Yeah, I would check out Cox Arms, their EMR series.
I hear good things from them.
Yep, I got 2 of their rifles. They're phenomenal. So I would definitely check out both of those. I would have said check out Anderson's Frontline stuff. It was about $700, had some upgrade, not quite as much as some of those other ones, but they were $600, $700, $800, and they were kind of an entry into mid-tier with very few things you may need to like upgrade on them, to bring them up to that $1,000 or $1,200 rifle quality. But unfortunately, Anderson's gone.
Yep. I just recently picked up a Fostech AR-15, not their shotgun. I know everybody knows them for their shotguns, but Fostech has like an AR that's like all magnesium. It's their stealth series, magnesium, not polymer, magnesium bimetal, something that essentially makes it super lightweight. So I just picked up one of their ARs, and it's kind of like, it's sort of, I guess you'd call it mid-tier. I mean, it's in that, what, $1,500 to $1,800 price point. It's kind of up there. Everything has had weight reduced. Even the bolt carriers have weight reduced. So get ready to make a video of that. Of course, it's an AR video, but normally I wouldn't do an AR video, except this one's kind of unique because it's so lightweight. I can put a flipping suppressor and laser and EOTech and all that crap on there, and it feels like just a normal lightweight AR with just a red dot and light. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So I have that, and then I have a 3-gun AR that's kind of decked out based from an Arrow upper and lower receiver kit. And I'm just looking behind me here. I think everything else is just poverty pony stuff, man. Just, PSA stuff as far as ARs go.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
Well, no, I mean, so like I get called, very often I get called a gun snob when people hear me say negative things about PSA, and I have good reason for it. With my experience with them on not just a business level, but on a quality control and product level. So those are just my opinions.
Yeah, and
And
I
then
get that.
and
You've been in the space longer. You've seen how PSA started, and it was like lots of really bad tolerances, lots of issues with things just not lining up and just being crap. And my experience has only been really like, I mean, have I shot guns for a long time? Yeah, I've shot them for like 10 or so years, 12 years, something like that now. I lose track of time. But like, I've only really started getting serious with it when I like started this YouTube channel, or maybe like a year before I started this YouTube channel, right when
mm,
COVID and all that stuff was hitting. Everyone was buying up everything. I was buying suppressors for the first time, everything. So it's not like I've had as much experience as you have. I imagine if I was in your shoes, I'd probably have the same experience. So far, I'm thankfully, hopefully, it'll keep being this way. But so far, everything I've touched with PSA has been okay. Even the Saber dagger, which I know had a lot of issues right out of the gates, mine for some reason seemed to work okay. I know other people, 704 Tactical, a bunch of other people had issues with their Saber dagger initially, the first batch, which I got too. I don't know. I've just been kind of lucky, I guess. Maybe my luck's gonna run out. I don't know. So far, it's been okay for me though.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I'll make a negative, and you're right. There's probably some of it is experience as far as, I mean, when I was doing that. Well, so I was shooting competitions back in the early '90s.
Hmm.
So I mean, I've been seriously shooting guns for decades at this
Mhm.
point. Um, and I remember when PSA started making guns. And yeah, they were all trash. But beyond that, I get called a gun snob often when they, like, on some of my PSA videos, and yet they don't go through my catalog of videos where I say good things about Anderson. I say good things about Bear Creek Arsenal. I say good things about, you know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
yeah,
No, I get it.
all these budget companies is like, no, no, I actually, most of my stuff is budget. I only have a few nice things.
Yeah, I
Um,
get it, man. Yeah, like a lot of my stuff, like I try not to be the person that's always just putting out nothing but positive reviews. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to mix it up a bit. And I mean, there is a backlog of videos on my channel too that you can see where things did not go so well. Like the O site, my initial O site review where I had glass literally fly back in my face. Could that be from brass hitting the glass? Maybe, but still, when is it 100% chance that you're not going to hit brass on your glass? Like
that's not
that.
from the brass. It might have been from
Yeah.
the brass, but the underlying cause was the giant turd that you had sitting on top of your gun.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a fun one. If anyone, not trying to stray anybody away, but if you want to see a very interesting initial O site review, I've got 3 or 4 of them now on my channel, but look at the first one, the first O site, the oldest one. Holy cow. Like, and obviously after that initial review, they've not sent me anything ever since. So everything
Oh,
else after that, I bought with my own money just to show and see how it does, to see for myself.
yeah, that's Olight's MO is, once you say anything bad or have a criticism about them, they drop you completely, and because they'd rather silence the person that is saying anything bad than to actually look within themselves about, oh, maybe we should improve this.
Mhm. And I try to give people a fair chance, like if I feel like maybe there's something that's a weird lemon, like a weird one-off thing, then sure, I'll maybe reach out to him and be like, hey, this happened to me. I'm going to talk about it. Do you have anything you want to say about it? For example, the Zalissi, I did like 3 red dots in a row back to back, exact same model, and they all cracked. Again, kind of similar how the OSI did, except I didn't have glass going in my face, but they all cracked just under regular recoil. And what was interesting is they sent me more red dots and they all cracked, but then they sent me green ones, exact same model, just the green version, and the glass did not crack, had no issues whatsoever. It was bizarre. But I mean, the point I'm trying to make is I don't always put out positive reviews. If I have an issue, yeah, I'll give the courtesy of saying, hey guys, I have an issue here. Do you want to send me something else or another one or whatever? We're still going to talk about it, but this is a huge problem. So, I mean, I think that's probably the most fair way to do it. Anytime you get stuff for free, obviously there's going to be probably some innate bias. I don't think we can completely avoid it, but I mean, I try to be upfront with everything, be honest with it as much as I can. And if something
Right.
just sucks, I'll just tell you it sucks. I don't make videos for freaking companies. I make videos for people like me that want to save time, but more importantly, their hard-earned money. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all I always say in my videos too. Is kind of funny. Um, yeah.
All right. So before we get into the Glock stuff, a couple things real quick. Becca Lopez, 1004. Thanks for joining. X. I don't even know how to say that. Something Hawk. This guy right there. Thanks for coming. DEFCON Supply is still out there. Sully Cortez, the Armsman, DBA or DB2A7. Fluffy's out there. Abigail's out there. I know Chris from 740 was out there earlier. Cobra Arms stopped in to say hi. I don't know if they're still out there. Pistol Pete as well. A couple names I haven't seen in a minute. So, yes, I appreciate everybody coming out. There are some names that I missed, but Ohio Wolverine just popped in. How you doing? Really quick, if you could take a few minutes out of your days out there sometime tomorrow or tonight, or in a new window while you're listening, go check out Rise Armament. Use code RTT20 for 20% off anything from Rise Armament. It used to be just a trigger discount. Now it is all their parts and accessories as well. So check out. There is no special link that you have to click. Just go to Rise Armament and check them out. RTT20 gets you 20% off of Rise Armament anything. That's a hell of a good deal. With that, also go check out Works Holsters. I don't have a discount stuff for you or anything like that. They are a sponsor of the channel, and they are my chosen holster. Anybody who knows me and has watched the channel long enough knows that I was buying and running and carrying Works Holsters long before I ever had any relationship with them. And it is because of that that I continued carrying on with one of the best holster companies I believe exist today. So check out Works Holsters.
And just real quickly, I was going to say to anybody that's watching my live stream on my channel right now, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I don't really have it set to show your chat, my chat, on to RTT's live stream, but I am seeing your comments. I am responding to them. I am in the chat watching and responding. So I appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah. Anybody out there that's unfortunately we can't stream your comments over to this, but anybody watching on TN Tactical's side, certainly appreciate you guys out there as well. Glock.
God, stinks. Oh, God, stinks. So what do we think? I know I have my initial thoughts. We talked a little bit about it before, but what were your thoughts on it?
So I had a really hard time putting into words what I thought, right? Until I watched James Reeves' video from TFB TV.
I agree.
James, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like James. James is a fantastic dude if you've never met him before. I met him a few years ago at GunCon, a little 30,000 subscriber or 25,000 subscriber channel. He took time out to go on both of our cell phones and scroll through my channel, watch videos for almost an hour and say, this looks good. This looks good. I would maybe change this. Audio sounds good. I mean, nobody. There's two other YouTubers that are like big like that have ever done that. And they're local guys. And I'm shout them out. Jonathan from Tactical Toolbox and Mike from Tactical Considerations. But
wow.
I mean, this things that big YouTubers tend to, and maybe this isn't your experience, but these big guys tend to stay in their kind of boys club at these events. And man, he sat down with me for almost an hour and we talked audio, we talked video quality, we talked channels. So that's just my experience with James Reeves. And I can't say enough nice things about the man. But until he came out with his video and he called Glock the victim in all this. And I could not agree more. Not only from the side of the blue states and blue cities that are suing Glock, but now they're becoming the victim of the people in the 2A community, in the gun community, because
They're
now
getting it from both ends. Yeah.
they're getting it from both ends. I mean, I can't. If I was Glock facing millions and millions and millions of dollars in lawsuits from across the nation, And you people out there, maybe not all of you, but I'm sure some of you out there that are watching, you people out there also turned against them. I mean, I can't imagine the boat they're in.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction was, I think what a lot of people had the same reaction to was just like, what the heck, you know? And I think part of it really stems off of how we just saw what, like a month or two ago, where Glock had pleaded with Oklahoma, Hardin, and the rest of the leadership there for their local state government to please legislate Glock switches. We are not in support of Glock switches. Essentially, is what they're saying is please help us legislate these. And I think while that also looked bad, I think they saw the writing on the wall. And I think they knew this was coming down the pipeline. They had all these lawsuits backed up against them. So they are trying to show every possibility that, hey, we are trying our best to work with you, the US government. We are trying uh, please do not sue us. We are doing everything in our power to work with step hand in hand with Congress to try to legislate these things because we don't support them at all. And I feel like they knew this was an option what they're doing right now with the Glock V, but I think they also knew that it was going to be a PR nightmare, which it has. Now that I've kind of had a chance to step back from my initial video, my initial thoughts, I saw James' video as well. I won't say I agree 100% with him. I mean, I agree with most of it, but it made me start thinking to myself, okay, Glock is a company. I know, you know, rest his soul, Gaston Glock. I don't know what he would do in this situation because he had the company for so long, and this could have been changed at any point in time to make it where you couldn't use switches. Now that I believe it's his wife, if I'm not mistaken, that runs the company now. If I'm wrong, tell me, but I think his wife runs the company now. And this is where a combination of things are happening to where it just paints the wrong picture. You know what I'm saying? It gives the wrong impression. Gaston's passed away. They put that letter out to the Oklahoma government, and now they're introducing this Glock V series, all at the same time, so close to one another that it doesn't look good. Now, from a business perspective, I get it. They are trying to save their ass. This is sort of like their last ditch effort to save their ass, in my opinion, with all the lawsuits coming, saying, hey, look, we are doing everything. We are even discontinuing all of these guns that you claim can take the switches, even though we don't support them at all. The switches themselves, we are going to discontinue our guns. Now, that leads me to start asking some other questions. Okay, let's say Glock's no longer releasing these guns. Obviously, disregard the fact that there's thousands, millions of Gen 3, 4s, and 5s out there. I made another video about this talking about where does that leave all of the third parties, all of the Bear Creek Grizzlies, the Ruger RXMs, the PSA Daggers, what have you, all of the third party Gen 3s that have come out that all have the same backplate. Now, does that mean they can all take the switch? Not necessarily. I don't know. I don't have a switch and never tried it out to see how it works. I can't tell you if they can all be compatible with a Temu Chinese switch. I don't know. But I mean, that supply is still there of firearms that could potentially take switches. I worry that this is going to be a step towards regulating other gun companies, going after PSA, going after these other third parties, making their own version of a Glock. Everyone's doing it now. I feel like it sets a dangerous precedent to allow these lawsuits to go through against a gun manufacturer because of criminals doing criminal things. You know, like that's where I have a lot of concern. I get why Glock did it. I understand why they did it. It was a business decision. It was like literally like having a flesh-eating virus on your leg and you choosing to cut off your leg so that it doesn't kill you. You know, that's kind of how we'll see this whole situation for them. Yeah, I agree with the fact that they are the victim, but I don't agree that they should just put out a Glock V that's simply the same thing as the other Glocks, except as far as we know, it can't take a Glock switch. And oh yeah, don't forget, initially they're only going to come out with regular guns, no red dot cuts at all. Randy, I was talking to earlier, Randy Reviews It, mentioned that I think it was that they may be coming out with a different red dot cut that's new. I don't know if it's going to be the A cut or whatever the acro cut is they came out with that was patented, or if it's going to be something else. I know a lot of people don't like the MOS system. I personally don't really have a problem with it, but I get it. It's too kind of funky with the different things you can attach to it. So they might be coming out with another actual system in place to mount your red dot. Now, this had me thinking, okay, this is actually what I thought the past 2 days. They got the Glock V model, right? And it's going to be just like the discontinued models, right? It's going to be standard, upper part, lower part slide, same, hopefully the same similar triggers. I don't know how it could be the same trigger, but saying hopefully there's still enough compatibility with the third market parts like Glock Store and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll find that out. I'm starting to wonder, what if they haven't released a Gen 6? They're teasing it here and there. This is not the Gen 6. That would be stupid for them to say Glock V, V5. That's Gen 6. I don't think that's the case. My theory is they're getting ready to release the Glock V. They're going to announce at SHOT Show the Glock Gen 6. And my theory is that they're going to make the Glock Gen 6 have a fire control unit. Drop in fire control unit, just like the P320 has, but their version hopefully doesn't go off on us. And that's going to be considered the Glock Gen 6. And they know that some people are not going to like it. People are going to have too many bad experiences or too much bad press around the P320. Me too. Hey, me too, brother. Me too. So that's why they made the Glock V for those that do not want a version with a fire control unit, but they're going to have Gen 6 be the one that is a fire control unit version of all their same guns. Does that make sense?
I mean, I hope you're wrong, but it's possible. It's my understanding that the Glock V is like a Glock 5.5. So I guess the biggest difference is going to be that they're essentially putting the Glock performance trigger in it, and making some slide changes. I don't know what those are. But the thing that the changes they're making is because of legal wording, and that legal wording being readily uh, 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 readily changed
Right.
or readily what's the word I'm looking for?
Readily convertible or something like
Convertible,
that.
yeah, readily
Yeah.
converted to fully auto. So mind you guys out there that every other manufacturer on the planet except for Glock has abided by these rules for decades. So yeah, Glock is the last bastion of like doing what the fuck you want with your gun.
The
um
Honda Civic of guns, basically.
yeah, yeah. um Armsman, or I'm sorry, Solely Cortez says ARFCOM has a great take. They could have told these states to go pound sand. Lawsuits would have been no. The lawsuits was not have been immediately dropped. Um, Remington tried that. Uh, Not only did it not work, they ended up having to settle. Remington sort of set the precedent for this, um, and we're talking about multiple lawsuits. They would have been sued out of business. The millions, the tens and tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, in just legal fees and then payments, they would have been sued out of business. Um,
And
I
that's
could,
why I think they cut off their leg. That's why I think they cut off their leg. They're saying, hey, we're going to attach this prosthetic. It's called the Glock V. There it goes. We can still walk again somewhat and do some things. Here's our Glock V to kind of cover ourselves and make sure that we're not going to be in any more legal trouble, hopefully. Who
right,
knows? Maybe that virus will spread and maybe they get some more lawsuits against them. I think, honestly, at some point in time, I mean, we've already seen FRTs show up in the TX22 and there's Glock TR FRTs. They perform differently than the Switch. And I guess by all means, by all accounts, as far as we know, you could change, but as far as we know, that's considered legal right now. It's not considered a machine gun. We'll see how that pans out in the future. Um, but what I'm trying to say is if people are going to have that full auto feel, they're going to find a way. And I'm going to say it right now. Someone will find a way to make a Glock switch again, even for the Glock V, somehow.
yeah,
That's
and
just my theory.
I think Ohio Wolverine has the best take on this. Sig is behind all this.
Hmm. You
Yeah,
think? Wait. Oh, I
Alex
didn't see
Jones
that.
needs to investigate.
I mean,
But
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Mud Munitions says Supreme Court needs to get involved. I agree that a manufacturer, I mean, uh, whatever manufacturer, whoever makes forks and knives can't be sued for me choking. Why? why medical companies, the bulk of the time, can't be sued for somebody overdosing on their drug and shit like that.
I wish I could sue McDonald's for making me
Yeah.
fat. That'd be amazing. I'll do that
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't get how these go through, but they are all in blue states. So, yeah, unfortunately. Soli Cortez says it is the criminal's fault. Why are they not putting these? Because they're in blue states and blue cities, because they have soft on crime policies, just like Ivana, the uh, the Ukrainian woman that got
Yes. Bus thing.
cut and stabbed on the bus. Soft on crime judges let out multiple times because they don't care. They want that. That's part of their control is keeping people like that free.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what we see every day too. I mean, it's crazy, man, like how much it's getting worse and worse. And I mean, it's always from the same side. I'm not trying to be political, but it seems like it's constantly coming from the left, always on the left side. I've actually lost friends because of just simple political disagreements, like 20 plus year friendships gone by the wayside simply because we have a difference in opinion. That's a story for another day, but it's just things are getting pretty divisive. Is that the word, or divisive? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Things are splitting apart, it seems like, and it's not good. My tinfoil hat tells me it's just all part of their plan, both the right and the left. It's just a plan to divide us so that they can more easily control us. We won't go after them if we're too busy fighting each other. That's my theory, at least.
Mud Munitions, thank you very much. You gifted 5 memberships out there. uh, um, so thank you for that support. I couldn't agree with this statement more. Abigail says just repeal the NFA and Hughes Amendment and legalize full autos. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Culture is broken. That's what that one individual Tomahawks said. Culture is broken.
The culture
I
is
agree.
broken. Absolutely. Megamind says what happened to the long? I haven't had long hair in like 3 years. But I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I haven't had hair in 3 years now or something like that. Anyway, so one of the things somebody said something about Gen 4 Gen 4 where is that? I just want I know the Gen 3 ran out years ago. When's Gen 4 patent running out? I don't know when the Gen 4 patent runs out. However, I think people need to be aware that this change was already coming. Like the California didn't start suing Glock, or the whole Oklahoma thing didn't happen, and then Glock started changing their molds, and then Glock started changing their manufacturing.
This was
To
already in the works, I
Yeah,
imagine.
to change manufacturing to this scale is months, even sometimes years in the making, depending on what it is. They've already planned on this. Now, do I know if it's because of the Gen 6 coming out? I don't know. Maybe Jake's right about the possible trigger, fire control group. That's possibly it. But this is not something that Glock just started doing. This is something they've had in manufacturing plans for quite some time now. And now, was it because of the Glock switch that they were changing things? I don't think so. Because for 30 years, 40 years, that hasn't mattered.
I agree.
But I think now that Gaston's gone, which is unfortunate because I think Glock's going to head in a bad direction, and not because of this lawsuit stuff. I think they're going to head into a bad direction. It's a 50-50 shot when family and boards and stuff like that take over from the original owners. When Bill Ruger died, Ruger got better because Bill Ruger's a piece of shit. You know, who knows what's going to happen with Glock? I think they're going to get worse over a short period of time. We'll have to see, but I think this has been in the making for a minute. Armsman says that Armsman says the timing, though. I agree, 100%. I agree. The timing is wild. Yeah,
awful timing, bad PR. Everything just stacked up, looked really, really bad. We saw the sick stuff happening, and it's almost like we saw Glock say, "Hold my beer. I can outperform you. I can do better. Watch me go lower. Watch me kill my audience." You know, like that's kind of what it looked like from outside perspective. Of course, inside, who knows? Maybe again, under the assumption that they make a fire control unit for a Gen 6. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I have no idea. This is purely speculation, but let's say that is what happened. That takes time to spin up. Maybe, my theory is maybe they saw that they lost that contract to SIG to the P320, the M17, M18, and maybe they thought to themselves in the back of their mind, maybe this is something they're working on, making their own FCU version to sort of compete in the future contract or something. You know, like maybe this has been that long coming, this all this time, and we are just now starting to really hear about it, and it's just really bad PR right now to release this now. Because you don't, like you said, you don't just spin up a bunch of machines and start spitting these things out in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably been years in the making at this point.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure, and even if it's not years, I'm sure it's been since Gaston died, which is what, 2 years now, I guess?
Mhm.
Year and a half?
February, I believe, something like that last year.
Yeah. No, it was before February last year because he died before SHOT Show.
Oh, you're right. It must have been January or December or something before that.
Yeah, it was right before SHOT, so it's coming up on a year, I guess. And I agree with Sully. I don't think this would be happening if Gaston was still alive. To that point, I stand by what I said is if Glock told them to pound sand, they would just get sued out of existence.
I agree.
Something would end up happening. Would it be this? Don't know. But something, even if Gaston was still alive, something would be happening. I think at the end of the day, these, you can't control who 3D prints stuff and all that. And I wouldn't want them to, just to be clear for people out there that are reading between the wrong lines. I wouldn't want them to control who 3D prints stuff, but we can control what comes in from China. We
Mhm.
can control what comes in from China. And the vast majority of them are these Wish.com, Temu pieces of shit. And I think as a country, our government should ban any sales at all, any import from Alibaba, Wish, Temu, and I think there's another one out there. I can't remember the name of it, but of those 3 or 4 sites.
I won't say that we should ban those sites altogether because there are some good things you can get from those sites. For example, I just bought a mini excavator, one of those old Chinese mini excavators for, super cheap. And I do think that there's a lot of potential for logistics to work so that, sorry, there's someone calling me randomly. There's a lot of logistic opportunities to where we can work with China on certain things, but we definitely need some more regulation. I mean, seriously, like what the heck? I shouldn't see on my Facebook feed an advertisement for these flipping Glock switches, you know what I'm saying? Or oil filters that are supposed to be something else, like I see it all the time. And it's not right. There definitely needs to be a crackdown on certain things. Sorry, I'm getting a weird.
Randy Reviews it says my Temu gun cabinet. I'm assuming this isn't like satire. My Temu gun cabinet is great and like 1/5 the price. Great, it's 1/5 the price. What my question is, what's the cost? What's the overall cost of a company in the US not being able to exist because they're selling them at 1/5 of the price? So there's an entire industry that could be built around that gun cabinet that doesn't exist because we can't compete with that price. So what is the overall cost? It's a hypothetical, nobody knows. And yeah, shit can be bought cheap over there. Or on Temu, Wish, and all that stuff. But I there is a larger cost to the savings.
Now, think about, for example, we talk about buying American, but that leads into another conversation where, well, how much of the stuff that we buy in American products, whether it's EOTech or Aimpoint, I'm just using Red Dot as an example. It could be anything, flashlights, what have you. They say American made, but I mean, they don't make a lot of this stuff in America. Most of the stuff is imported from not just China, but could be from other places over in Southeast Asia and across the world that they get components to make the things that we like. And it gets assembled here usually, in a lot of cases, you know?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Almost never, like you'll like anybody who's like watched light or optics videos from me, you've never heard me say I don't like this because it's Chinese made. We get far too many things from China.
Mhm.
Um, to not buy Chinese, Pakistani, Taiwanese, Korean, just go down the list. Places in South America, Mexico, Canada. We get far too many things imported um, to in reality be like only buy U.S. made because we just don't make some of the stuff. Like I don't think we make LEDs. Last I checked, I don't think we make LEDs in the United States, at least
I
for the
haven't, yeah, I
at
haven't
least
seen
for
an
the
LED
civilian market.
factory.
Yeah. Um, So I mean, there would be a lot of growth, a lot of different things that need to happen. However, I do think that there are things that you can make a conscious decision that there are American counterparts
Mhm.
to buy
I
versus
I get
Chinese
it.
ones.
I totally get, but the problem is we've already sold our all of our factories off to China a long time ago. Um, I would like to see more manufacturing come back here. In fact, I think honestly, in the long run, we're going to have to, if we're going to actually survive this this world, this cultural war that we find ourselves in. Um, the unfortunate thing is, everybody can say this, but I think at the end of the day, like I'll give you an example. Like we've got iPhones here. I mean, I've got an iPhone. I don't know if you have one, but the point is, like whatever phone you have, it's probably made in some Chinese factory where they, have to mine lithium in some mine, and they probably have like children mine lithium and or slaves or whatever. And we will say that we have a problem with it, but it seems like no one really has a problem with it if it means they would have to pay $1,000 more for their phone in order to get it from more, I guess, respectable places. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh no, no doubt. Like the
yeah.
shit's going to cost 5, 6, 7 times as much. I try to buy as much American made as I can if I know
Hmm.
that if I know that I can. Um, And if it's not American made, it's from an American company. So, for instance, like Streamlight. Streamlight sells Chinese flashlights, but they are an American company with American employees, right?
Hmm.
Gideon Optics, same way. Gideon Chinese Optics, an American company with American employees. My money is largely staying here.
I see
Um,
what you're saying.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
W- uh, and countless other companies can be mentioned like that. But it's an American company with American employees. Does the products come from China? Yes, that sucks. Can I get around it? No, I can't because we either don't make it here or it's not available for whatever reason here. Um, and but I would rather buy a Gideon Optic, an American company with American employees, and my money stays largely here than to go on Temu or Wish.com and buy a Chinese optic.
Yeah, and the
Because
sad part about it, when you buy from Chinese places like that, I think I know what you're about to say is some of that money does go towards the Chinese government, and unfortunately, that does help fuel more this culture war that we're in with them, with everything going on. I mean, my goodness, who knows? Maybe your dollars are being used to help fund TikTok. I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. A lot of that money goes. We know it's already out there that like Olight, a bunch of Olight money goes to the communist Chinese government.
Yeah,
Um,
we're in a weird place though too, because I think about like, okay, let's say we did cut off a lot of the Chinese options for more American made, and it does raise the prices of stuff like we were talking about. I mean, we're already in a bad situation with wages and salaries and inflation, all this other crap. It's like, I don't know. We've put ourselves in a corner. I'm not disagreeing with you. I get what you're saying. I'm saying I don't think we can. I think we're kind of just screwed right now as a country being able to come out of this hole that we've dug ourselves in, with having to rely on China and cheaper products because inflation and wages aren't really. I'm not saying like minimum wage, by the way. I'm just saying like jobs typically are not seeing an increase with all the inflation we've got going on.
yeah,
We shouldn't have the inflation. We all know that the whole thing with the Kofifi, I'll call it, in 2019, 2020. Well, we all saw those checks come in the mail. We knew this was going to happen. We all knew that we were going to see inflation, at least everyone that had any kind of foresight or forethought about this. Um, we've dug ourselves in the hole, and that I feel like was the last nail in the coffin to really screw us. Now, again, not trying to get political here. Trump's been doing all these tariffs. A lot of people said they weren't going to work. Seems like maybe they might be working. I don't know. I've not looked into it. I'm not a geopolitical expert by any means. Is this something that could help us? I don't know. But I mean, it's something. Is it
yeah,
going to screw us? I don't know. And the weird thing about that is people say tariffs only hurt the consumer, right? They say, oh, well, it just makes the prices go up for the consumer that wants to buy stuff overseas. Okay. It's funny because it's like when remember how he was tariffing everybody, like not just China, but he was tariffing all these European countries and Canada, especially. That was another big one. It's like Canada, he's like, okay, we're going to tariff everything coming in from Canada is going to get tariff, and it's like Canada came back and said, oh yeah, well we're going to go ahead and tariff the United States too, and make our people pay more stuff too. You think you can screw your people? We can screw our people there. So it's kind of like that doesn't make sense. What's going on here? So that's why it makes me think more about like what's the after effect of tariffs really? Obviously the initial effect is goods are more expensive when you import them from outside. But what's the third or fourth step down the road after effect of that? I know this is totally off topic, by the way. It's just something I thought about.
I have two things I want to bring up here out of the chat in the chat room, and then we'll get back into Glock. This one's an easy one. Pack Rat's Attic said, "Okay, challenge for you: find an American-made tire. Easy, Cooper tire. Um, I Cooper's main manufacturing plant is in my hometown in Ohio, and they employ thousands of American workers, from raw material all the way up to being on a car. So that's an easy one. Um, I don't know about other ones. I think there's God, what's the other one? Michelin? Is Michelin? I think Michelin's made here too.
I don't know much about tire brands,
Yeah.
honestly.
Um, Randy Reviews it said Lead and Seal told me they were moving assembly to the US. I just wish they would stop assembling um and go away. But
I've not had any experience with them.
yeah. Um and just so you guys know, I'm not like I'm wearing LA Police Gear jeans. They're made in China. LAPG is an American company, but they're made in China. You know, I have a bunch of shirts from a couple different companies, t-shirts that are American made t-shirts. So I try to do best I can. Um,
Probably most of the stuff behind me is made in China, except for the guns.
yeah, probably. Yep. Yeah, yeah, so that's why I said Michelin is, I believe, also Ohio or Mickey Thompson. There's another one in Ohio that makes uh, uh, American made tires. I don't own any. I used to run only Coopers when I was driving a car, but no, not now that I have a truck. back to Glock. Actually, before we get to Glock, I do have to do this. Everybody, either while you're watching or later on, if you want to, use RTT 20 at Rise Armament for 20% off. Rise Armament is a friend of the channel, and I use their products in basically all of my rifles. Actually, I think all of my rifles at this point. I've counted on their triggers in duty use and personal use. They're phenomenal products. And if you use RTT20, you can get 20% off any of their parts and accessories, including triggers. Also, check out Works Holsters. Works is a sponsor of the channel. I run their holsters, not because they're a sponsor. I ran their holsters far before I ever had a relationship with them. I believe them to be one of the best holster companies in the industry and some of the best holsters out there. So check out Works. Also, the thing you see at the bottom is Copper Jacket Arms. That's my company. 10% off RTT 10 will get you 10% off there. Also, you can the QR code. The QR code above my head is also for Copper Jacket Arms. TN Tactical, his YouTube channel is the pinned comment in your comment section. So go check out his channel.
Please check it out. Not right now, but later, please.
Yeah, not right now. Keep watching. Yeah, keep watching. So it looks like people are fairly handily taking care of the whole American-made tire thing out there. It looks like Goodyear, Cooper, Michelin, Continental, Bridgestone, all made in America. But also that also means North America, Central America, South America. So I don't know where the rest of. I just know that Coopers are made in Northwest Ohio.
You can see it. You've been there. You've seen it.
I've been there. I've driven
Yeah.
by the plant. I've been in the plant. I have many friends that worked at the plant. My son and ex-wife lived a block from the plant. Like, I remember when they went on strike. This isn't the imagination.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of American made, going back to Glock.
Yeah.
I think they actually do. They do have a Glock branch, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like a manufacturing plant somewhere. I forgot where exactly, but that was just supposed to be a joke. But
yeah, they do. They have a manufacturing facility in. Is it Florida? No, or is it Georgia? I can't remember.
I think it's Georgia. I think
Yeah,
it's Georgia. I think I've got that little Georgia state shape somewhere on one of my Glocks somewhere.
Smyrna.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
there it is.
Smyrna.
Smyrna, Georgia makes Glocks. Yep.
Yeah.
They did that. They did that, what, 2-3 years ago? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. You talked earlier about the Glock aftermarket. So we saw Polymer 80 go under because of lawsuits, because of laws, because of all this stuff. This is one of another examples of, I don't think that fighting these lawsuits, like just telling them to get bent to pound sand, I don't think that that's especially when they're getting sued as much as they are, is a fiscally responsible thing to do, or a good business decision, because
I agree.
I think they would go out of business like so many other companies. We've seen them get rid of Polymer 80s. Now, that was for a little bit different reason, or the company Polymer 80, I should say. Do you really think, I mean, AIM Surplus, Stifler Machining, Zev, Zafiri, I mean, name one of the 200 companies that makes aftermarket Glock slides that fit Gen 3 and 4. Timney, Timney triggers,
all of them,
Apex, everybody. Another 100 of the companies except for Johnny Glocks, because, well, we don't buy his stuff. Do you really think? Do you think it's like a blanket thing, or would they have to go after every individual company? And I mean, for the company to actually go away. Now, obviously, somebody like California could, while I don't agree with it, could probably ban any cruciform trigger.
I mean, we've seen crazier stuff get banned, right?
Yeah. So how easy do you think it would be to actually, through legal means, get rid of the entire Glock aftermarket, the
I think it
current Glock
depends.
aftermarket?
I think it really comes down to the political climate. I think it depends on the House, the Senate, as well as the presidency. Right now, we are relatively in a good position where we have, again, not trying to make it political, but it is what it is. Republicans in all three branches of government. Now, does that mean they have our best interests as gun owners? No, I would argue maybe not. But look at the other side of the aisle, and we know there's going to be a point in time where the pendulum will swing the other way, and suddenly you see Democrats control all three houses or House, Senate, and presidency. You saw what happened in Trump's first term where he basically made an executive order banning bump stocks, right? And I feel like we could see something like that in the future coming down the pipeline when the Democrats, again, not trying to make it political, but it is what it is, when they have more control.
Real quick, make it political. Like,
Oh, I get it.
you don't have to say that on this channel, bro. Like, get political, like trash on whoever the fuck you want.
Well, you get what I'm saying, though. It's like it's gonna come one way or the other. How it goes, they could do it in a number of ways. They could maybe make an example of a few companies like Glock, like a few other companies that are kind of bigger names that may have a lot of these Gen 3 clones out there. Do I think they're gonna go after every individual company? I don't think they're gonna have to. I think all they have to do is make a few of them be like sort of like sacrifices, like an example to all the other companies, or maybe later on down the road, a Democrat president will make an executive order essentially saying that anything that takes that particular slide or whatever has that particular backplate is somehow now illegal. There's a lot of ways. Could they blanket do it as well? Sure. I mean, anything is possible, right? When you have control, when you have the power to make the laws and enforce the laws, at least the laws you want to enforce, really anything I think at this point is on the table. There's multiple ways they could do it. How they do it is going to be based on time and how much effort they really want to put towards it.
So, how about this angle? I'm making okay. So, just so you guys are aware out there, maybe this whole thing is going to ruin it. I am planning on making a video about how YouTube is the biggest threat to the Second Amendment. I believe YouTube being is the biggest threat, the absolute. Forget politicians. YouTube is the biggest threat to the Second Amendment. What happens because YouTube tends to censor things that, even if it's not legal in other countries or not legal in every state, that's part of their rule set. Is it doesn't have to be just legal where you're at. It doesn't have to be the Second Amendment, right? What happens if YouTube takes down every video, blocks every video, censors and demonetizes every video that has a pre-ban Glock?
I think then you might be looking at Section 230. You know what I'm saying? Where suddenly they have more against them showing that they are being an editor, a publishing platform, and not just an open. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What's the term called? You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're
Like a
hesitant to
class
do
action,
that.
like
Yeah,
class
I think
action. Yeah.
yes, I think they'd be hesitant to go that far because then suddenly they're opening up to losing their Section 230 status, whatever you want to call that, or having Section 230 rewritten to where suddenly they're going to have to follow the rules and be accountable for all their content. And let me tell you something, you know this, or maybe you don't know this, I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff on YouTube that's totally like somehow allowed, including like if you can make it educational, you can basically do anything, except I guess for gun content. I mean, not that I've seen it, and I don't look for it, but I've heard just on news and stuff and other people talking about it. I mean, there's flipping like naked yoga and people breastfeeding, and it's all about how to and stuff. It's just like, what the crap is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this allowed? But like, I can't maybe show my gun being full auto or whatever, you know,
What
like it's
wait a second. Did you just say you're not looking up naked yoga?
no, I'm not. This was actually from another YouTube, like a bigger YouTuber who was like talking about it and bring it to attention to people.
I'm trying to process not looking up naked yoga. Like
Well, what you do on your off time, you could totally do, but I'm just saying it was one of the bigger channels. I think it was Moist Critical that was talking about it. Or Asmongold. I watch a lot of the big streamers. I like watching their content. That's sort of my thing. But they were talking about this was like a couple years ago. So maybe it's changed, but it's crazy. Like this stuff is allowed that literally kids could look up if they knew to look it up.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But God forbid we show something with an FRT in it that gets monetized, or show anything with like incendiary rounds or anything cool or fun, you know, like we can't do it. It's like a double standard. It's absolutely
Mm,
crazy.
mhm.
Someone on your chat here said Silly Cortez brought up a point here on this last chat thing here. It says
Where's that?
Twitter X. It's the second to last one on the thing here.
There it is.
Twitter X literally had jihadist executions. Man, you must have been. Oh, he's talking about another person in our chat too. Like, what I'm trying to say though is that they show stuff like that, beheadings and all kinds of crazy stuff on Twitter and stuff or whatever, and it's fine. But God forbid you show, hey, how to take apart and clean your gun. No, 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 you can't do that. In fact, the weird thing about it is the last video I made was talking about Glock, like third party, like Gen 3 clones. I just put that video out like yesterday or day before yesterday. I can't remember. But that video got demonetized simply because I was holding up the gun and I was just showing the back plates and how they're similar between the PSA Dagger, Glock, and a few other guns. That
Mhm.
video could not be monetized because I guess I rolled the dice and went ahead and published it, and I just happened to get the wrong person from India reviewing my particular video, I guess. I don't know. Apparently that was a problem. Just talking about it, not doing anything, not shooting, not just literally in my office, just saying, look, see, this is a problem. Like it's crazy. And it's such a double standard, it's ridiculous.
I'm gonna pull something up here. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna share the screen here. Um, share screen.
Come on, you got this. I believe
There.
in you.
All right. Can so you guys can see this?
Yep.
All right. So I'm still waiting. This is in escrow right now for a copyrighted song that I had the license to. They're just I'm just waiting to get that taken care of. But so this here got demonetized and 18 only, age restricted, 300 views in what is that? 2 weeks?
Mhm.
3 weeks, September 25th. Um this I've actually republished right here. So far so good. Once the copyright goes away, I'm going to republish this video and I titled it Screw YouTube and they monetized it. Like they monetized it of all things.
I get
And
it,
then
man.
this
It's weird.
this video, the XTAR EP9, which has done really well, they gave me a strike for an early copy of this video. So I put this video up. I published it or it was unlisted. But I uploaded it. I realized that I made a mistake in the editing process and deleted it, re-uploaded this version, which was only a few seconds different. And 2 weeks later, week and a half later, they gave me the strike for the video I deleted.
That's weird.
Yeah, they gave me a strike for the video that I deleted.
Hmm.
Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of, do you remember when suppressors screwing a suppressor on would get you in trouble with YouTube. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun couple of months. Yeah, I mean, I got a strike back then for that. And then the weird part is my video was deleted and everything. But here's the weird part. After that kind of all went away, after Mr. Guns and Gear went through it back and forth with them and stuff, I had already released another version of that video where it was blurred out and me putting the suppressor on. Somehow, even though I'd gotten the strike and that video originally removed, it came back. It's still back on my channel now, and the strike was taken off and everything. I don't know what happened, but it's like they completely reversed everything. It was bizarre, and it's monetized. I
Wow.
mean, it's crazy.
And they're hitting like I know that John Patton just had a video taken down. Gunny Gal, I saw her Instagram post where she got a strike on a video for handling a firearm during a live stream in a pre-recorded video. It wasn't even a
Oh
live
wow.
stream. Pack Rat in here said, "I never get your notifications. Like I get those messages a couple times a week. I never get people not getting notified about my videos. Um,
There
it's
was a
it's
there was a point in time where we were getting unsubscribed to channels. Like I was getting unsubscribed to other channels I followed and stuff.
mhm.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But hey, so we got on the subject of YouTube because of Glock. Um, you think that uh, if YouTube decided to take down all Glock content, at least pre-ban Glock content, that they would fall under that different title of the FCC to
Mhm.
where they're no longer a platform, they're a publisher.
Publisher, right.
Um,
I think that would be a major, uh, piece of evidence that could be brought against them, and I think because of that, they will, not go that far. They may just slowly, unfortunately, poke away and prick and cut away piece by piece until there's less and less gun content, but I don't think they'll just do a straight ban for all the Glock slides and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just I feel like they would have too much to lose. And I think there would be too much of a backlash. Even though we are a niche community, I think there is enough of us to where, especially with the bigger channels, there would be hell to pay, I think. I'll be almost certain. My understanding is I was actually talking, this was a long time ago, a couple of years ago. I was talking to Chris from the Honest Outlaw channel. I'm sure no one's heard of him, just a small
who?
content creator. Yeah,
Who?
exactly. So he was telling me that some of the people in Google are actually pretty straightforward. I mean, good, upstanding Pro 2A guys, apparently. Some of the people that work on at Google. They've even come to some of the IV88 events before in the past, too. Got the same similar response from 704 Tactical. Good dude, by the way. I don't know if you ever had a chance to meet him or talk to him. He's a very upstanding, cool dude. Like him. Um, and he says the same thing that there are some people at Google like that are fighting for our rights because every time you see one of these weird things happen, like the suppressor thing, they're the ones that come up and say, no, you guys, we can't do this. So, and then I hear other stuff like from way further back. You may be more familiar with this, where I guess Eric IV8888 way back in the day, when they first decided to make the rule that on live streams you couldn't show any firearms handling, like handling them in your hands. Um, he was fighting for, like, that was a settlement he essentially had to make with YouTube. He was essentially representing all gun content and gun tubers and featured gun tubers. And YouTube originally back then was trying to say, hey, you can't have gun content at all. You can't be handling guns, whether it's a live video or it's a pre-made video or whatever. You cannot be handling guns. I guess Eric and some other content creators from back then, this was like 10 years ago, I guess, stepped up and said, no, actually, let's agree to this. Let's make a deal. Essentially, let's agree. Okay, no on live streams. We get that. No handling guns on live streams, but they should still be allowed on pre-made, produced videos like we have right now. That's what my understanding is. Now, unfortunately, we have seen in the past couple of years that now you can no longer have full auto or anything close to full auto, um, and still get monetized or not get it age restricted. That sucks because all my FRT videos, let me tell you something. My FRT videos are killing it on my channel. Like they are actually doing very well for my channel. Thousands of views, which is normally I normally get a few hundred views. my TX22 FRT video, as well as my MP5K, the AP5P. Both those are doing relatively well for my channel for my size. So it sucks because my good videos, which I like making them all, I don't care. I'm not really in it for the money, but my good videos that are really popular, they are not monetized. Now I still make them because I like making the videos. I do. But it just sucks because it's like a catch 22. Maybe I should start doing naked yoga. Maybe I can make more money doing that. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's what OnlyFans is for. Um,
That's right.
and
That'll be it.
if you're into feet, you can find into foot porn, you can find TN Tactical over there on OnlyFans.
I was actually going to say,
Yep.
yep, subscribe, look for TN Tactical on that site there. You will find some great foot pictures if you like hairy toes, and this is the market for you. You like it.
Just kidding, people. Just kidding. Well, I think.
I think so far.
So far. The Harmsman says naked guns. Yeah. So what would a naked gun be? Just unpainted?
I guess so. Raw metal, and then
Raw
it gets rusted.
aluminum.
Yeah. Raw
Raw
aluminum, raw
aluminum and
steel.
steel. That'd
Yep.
be interesting. Um, since we're talking about YouTube, I think we've exhausted Glock. Unless you have something to add.
I I don't really have anything to add except, Lord, I hope they do something right with the Gen 6 because otherwise, what are we going to do with all these Glock mags? Thankfully, we've got all these 2011s and other things that are coming out that take Glock mags. I guess that's one silver lining to all this, but I guess the bottom line is I think everything's going to be okay. Like, yeah, we have our initial reactions. We're scared. We're worried. We're like, what the heck? We feel betrayed. Some of us do. And then we think about it from a business perspective. It kind of makes sense in some sense. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. They just need to be quiet. Glock needs to stop doing this and just stop talking about it. Stop doing stuff. Just sell your guns. It's good. We're good. Just let this shit go away. Give it some
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. And I agree with James Reeves when he says this. I think everybody needs to keep in mind that Glock is the victim in all this. Um, they're getting attacked from all sides, and now the gun community is turning against them. I mean, I really think they are the victim in all this, and I really think they were the last bastion of firearm freedom that we had. Again, I made an Instagram post the other day that if you're mad at Glock, you need to be mad at all the companies. Every company out there has
Oh yeah.
has done this. It was just part of the design. They've already followed all of these things that Glock is now doing 30 or 40 years later, as part of their initial design, just so they didn't get caught in any traps. So, yeah, a lot of companies bent the knee for decades before this
Mhm.
ever happened with Glock.
I mean, I'll never forget Daniel Defense. They were subpoenaed along with all those other companies to come testify in Congress, and they said, no, we have no interest of this is what's his name? The actual CEO, the founder of the company said, no, we have
Dan
no interest.
Marty Daniel.
Murray Daniel, yes, said we have no interest in abolishing the ATF. And I mean, he had to say that. I mean, like it was a trap question, like take the least damage from that. He wasn't going to win that argument. They were trying to catch him in a trap, like a gotcha moment in Congress. So, I mean,
Mhm.
do I think Daniel Defense makes bad rifles? No. I think they're excellent rifles, as far as I know. Do I think Glocks make terrible guns? I think their guns are going to suck. God, I hope the Gen 6 and Glock V doesn't suck. I still think that everything they've made up to this point has been reliable. So, I mean, hell, I'm just going to tell you right now, Matt, I just literally 2 nights ago bought a Gen 5 Glock 19 MOS because of all this shit happening right now. I just wanted to get that because I always wanted one. Not that I don't have enough Glock 19s as it is, but I wanted that specifically, just so I can have it for whatever happens, prices, used gun prices, scarcity, all that stuff happens.
One of my first carry guns was a Gen 2 Glock 19 that I sold a few years back. Had like 50,000 rounds on it. It sounded like a rattly trash can. It was so wore out. But yeah, I just want a Gen 2 again. Like it's I don't know. But I have Gen 3s. I have my 19X. I have the 43, you know, I don't know.
I get it. I'm definitely a Glock fanatic. You ever see that meme of the guy who's wearing that shirt and he's holding the other shirt like it's a gift he just bought? And it's like that's a Glock owner. Essentially, we buy the same gun over and over again. And I'm guilty of it, guilty as charged. Like I've got a 19X. I really want a Glock 45, even though it's essentially the same thing as a 19X. I don't know why. It's a problem. I get it. But I think Glock's going to be okay. If this move that they made, discontinuing the Gen 3 through 5s, doesn't save their ass from all the lawsuits, I don't know what will at this point.
Yeah. So, Pack Rats Addict says Forgotten Weapons went over to Pepperbox with all the shooting videos. Yeah, but that's Pepperbox. It's not for regular people. It's an echo chamber of the Cool Kids Club of YouTube gun channels. So I've never even gone over there. I don't have any interest. Mud Munition says, do you think Rebel will ever get to the point where they can really compete with YouTube? No. Not unless YouTube. It would take the entirety of the YouTube gun community to migrate over there in order for Rumble to even begin competing. I've been on Rumble since they started. Now, I know there's a lot of people that get tired of hearing about like money and stuff. I've been on Rumble since they started, been monetized for a long time, and I've been paid once. Yeah, in however many years that's been. Yeah, it's not very, in my opinion, not very user friendly. I post on there every time I post a video. Some of them get good views, some of them don't. Like
I've got a Rumble channel, but honestly, I posted there for a little while and it just wasn't really working out. I mean, I have a few friends, you and I have a few friends that I guess they do kind of well on Rumble, but I mean, right now, I don't see the point right now. And that's almost like you got to fish where the fish are, and I
Yeah,
feel like this is where the most viewers will be. I mean, speaking of those sit down videos I started doing, man, you want to talk about diversifying your audience. I get all kinds of different viewers on those videos compared to like all the gun review stuff, which is natural because when we're talking about a political situation like Charlie Kirk, or we're talking about anything that's more of a sit down thing, it has a wider range of audience and a further reach than, okay, we're going to talk about the, what is I just did recently? I did a thermal and it didn't really do great for views at least. So it's kind of like a very niche thing versus a wider topic with those sit down videos. You got to fish where the fish are. And unfortunately, we're having to kind of play by the rules. That's why I'm not reaching behind me and showing
yeah,
off some of the cool stuff I got coming out.
yeah.
That's what it
And
is.
like somebody out there brought up, like Rumble has Steven Crowder and his numbers are insane compared to YouTube. But yeah, but you're talking about a guy who has millions of followers to begin with. It doesn't matter where he goes; he's going to have millions of numbers. Um,
And a lot of times there's exclusive deals involved where you will get more exposure just because of who you are going over there as part of a contract deal. They
yeah,
can make that happen.
yeah, oh, absolutely. A couple other, well, there was somebody else out there. Rumble said, traffic and engagement sucks. Yeah, it does. Like Tyler from Thunder Tactical, good friend. He
Mhm.
loves Rumble. He loves
Oh, yeah.
Rumble. Good for him. I mean, and he's making it. He's doing
Yeah,
well
he's
over
doing
there.
good. Mhm.
Yeah, he's doing well over there. So, I mean, more power to him. I'm not. Most people are not.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's always been very encouraging for me to come over and stuff, and honestly, one of the nicest people in the gun space I've ever met, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
isn't he? He's
Yeah.
just a phenomenal dude.
I hope
Yeah.
he sees this video one day because he is an absolutely fine person. I met him 2 years ago, I guess 3 now at this point, 3 years ago, IV88. Um, and just I saw him because I recognized him from the content that I was watching as a YouTube subscriber. I was like, "Oh, that's Tundra Tactical," and he was so kind to just, like, take me under his wing and show me stuff and talk with me about stuff and video creation. I mean, outstanding, upstanding, good dude. Like I said, literally the nicest person I've met in space so far.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I met him a handful of years ago. I was at a gun con, I think. I don't remember. But then we partied together at the guns.com party at SHOT Show last year, and talk and all that all the time. It's a great dude. If you guys don't know who Tundra Tactical is, go check out Tundra Tactical.
Most of his content's on Rumble now, but there's still a good backlog of content on YouTube still.
Yeah.
And he still posts there occasionally too.
I miss his old videos, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like some of that, like, what does your holster say about you? What
Yeah,
does your
yeah.
pistol say about you?
That's what helped him succeed and kind of like help him skyrocket is all those like what your gun says about you and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what really helped him make it.
I got featured in a couple of them, especially ones that had to do with Glock.
Yeah.
Armsman says Glocks are okay. Abigail said she still needs a 20 and 21. So my distributors for Copper Jacket Arms, out. Like no G19s, no G17s, no G26s in stock, period. We do have some of the other ones listed on our website right now. The problem is that since we drop ship, I can't send you one. You have to send it to my FFL and then we have to ship it back out. So it just takes a little bit more time, and therefore I can't really put them on sale because now I have extra shipping on top of everything else.
Again, it's gonna continue to dry up. I think we're gonna see the used market go up in price. That's just how it is. My suggestion, and again, this is not me promoting any sales at all, but if I were a person and I was thinking about maybe picking one up like now or sometime soon, you may want to jump on it because I mean, even your local shops may be running out. I don't know. I'm actually going to go to my local shop tomorrow to pick up the 19. So I'll be interested to see what they have on the counter underneath there. You know what I'm saying? I seriously want to know if it's affecting me locally or not.
Yeah, I haven't. I should probably go to one of my FFLs, the one I've been using for a long time before I got my FFL. I should go over to Murphy's and check that out. Bun Munitions says he loves the steel frame Jericho 941. I guess I'm not really sure what that is. A Jericho. I know the name. I just can't picture the gun in my head.
So I was going to ask you, what is like? I know we kind of hinted this earlier. There's not really anything that stands out to us that's kind of catching our attention. But what about you personally for your channel? Like, what are you looking at possibly putting out in the future? Like anything you want to kind of hint at, like any videos that you think that you're going to put out there going to be good, or stuff that's interesting, or
I'm not going to put out anything good. You guys can just fucking forget that shit.
Interesting. How about that? Unique, something that's going to that you're really excited about.
I'm going to actually add some truck stuff to my channel here coming up. I'm doing a bunch of work to my truck, and I figure my truck is almost a character in my videos sometimes. So, because I'm always like racking stuff off the tailgate and things like that. So I might add a little bit of the truck stuff into the channel. But yeah, new bumpers, doing a 5-inch lift, new wheels, new tires, eventually paint. So that'll be cool. But a couple other things I have going on. I am going to make the YouTube is the biggest threat to the Second Amendment video. I have the rugged, the Bond Arms roughneck 9mm stainless 9mm Derringer coming up.
Okay, cool.
The core arms, the core pistol 9mm, which is kind of a mismatch of a couple different companies, it seems like, holding the gun. I'll save that for later. I may have another vector optic scope coming up soon. I do have a thermal that a Chinese company is begging me to do or to do the video on. They're not going to like it because it's an absolute piece of trash, which is why I've been putting off doing it.
They're going to learn today.
Oh, they're going to learn. I already told them. They were like, "We're waiting on this video." I said, "Well, and for those of you guys out there with channels, especially upcoming channels, small channels. I'm still a small channel at 60,000 subscribers. Back when I started, 60,000 was like unheard of, but I'm still today as a small channel at 60,000 subscribers. Don't be afraid to tell a company to get fucked. There will be another one, and there will be another one, and it's usually these Chinese companies that get really pushy with shit, that want to tell you how to record a video, what to say, when to publish and all that. Tell them to get fucked. You do your channel the way you want to do your channel. Don't let anybody else run your channel for you like that. And if a product is a piece of shit, tell people it's a piece of shit, because people will start seeing through it after a while, and that'll be the biggest hurt to your channel.
I agree 100%. Don't make the videos for the companies. Make the videos because you're either actually interested in them or you think your audience might actually be interested in them. And exactly like you said, fuck that noise. There's been a handful of companies that have tried to do that crap to me, and I don't work with them anymore. I say, nope, this is the video, and I'm not going to name names, but you'll see that there's certain companies I now prefer and certain companies I don't prefer because of the freedom that the companies I like give me. Like I'll go and say it, Sealy. I'm not trying to be like the biggest Sealy advocate, but I have done a lot of work with Sealy, and it's actually Siley, by the way. I just found that out recently. So Siley is how you actually pronounce it. My bad. I found that out the hard way. But Siley, honestly, Chinese red dots. I think they have some people over on the American side that can help with distribution stuff. Outstanding people to work with, by the way. And every time I've worked with them, I have never been told to like, oh, say this or say that, or hey, can you cut this? Nothing. No, zero. In fact, they encourage me to beat the piss out of the red dots they send me. Like literally, they tell me, okay, go ahead and shoot this one with a shotgun. Let's see what happens. They tell me, go ahead and drop a center block on it. Let's see what happens. I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it. And they are honestly one of the best companies I've worked with. I've done some work with Gideon as well, and they've also been very good to work with. Neither one of them have told me, okay, we want you to do this, or oh, hey, can you cut this? I'm just going to go and say it. Olight got so pissy with me on my first review that I ever did, first and last review I ever did with them as a part of a collaboration, that they're saying, oh, well, what was the torques that you put on the screws? Maybe you didn't put enough torque. And, we recommend this fix-it stick that lets you measure how much torque. I said, okay, fuckers, I'm going to go buy this $100 fix-it stick and then do it again with the next red dot you send me. And sure enough, oh, look, it's still a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to go and trash those site because I have no loyalty to them or really any company for that matter. I will never work with them again because they try to blame everything except for their subpar quality as a reason why I had a red dot shatter in my face just from regular recoil of the gun cycling. And that shit pissed me off. I did not tell them I didn't give them a heads up about that video until it just got released because fuck that noise. That could have been anybody. I got lucky I didn't lose an eye that day. That could have happened to anybody that was watching my video and they bought one of those sites. And maybe they just happened to forget their iPro that day. Or maybe the glass just hit them a certain way to where something else could have happened that hurt them. So because of that shit, fuck that noise. If I ever have anything dangerous like that, no, absolutely not. You're not going to get a pass on that. Absolutely not. And the thing is, there's like you said, there's a lot of Chinese companies out there And I've had to learn to say no. When I first started my channel, I was like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll review this safe. Yeah, I'll review this little light. I'll review this. But now I don't review all that stuff. If I don't feel like it's something interesting to my channel, I will not review it. Like I want it to be something either A, I'm interested in, or B, I think the people that watch my channel are going to be interested in. If it's not either one of those things, I'm not going to make the video. That's just it. Hands
Yeah.
down.
So this thermal company, they're like, we've been waiting for you to put this video out. And I said, well, number one, you're not paying me to do this video. I'll put it out whenever the fuck I want. Number two, it's finally not 115 degrees here. Thermal doesn't work very well in the desert when
Yeah.
everything is 110 degrees, when every rock is 110 degrees, when every blade of grass is 110 degrees, when every cactus is 100. It just ends up being a bland mess of shit,
Yeah.
through thermal. I was like, so I've been waiting for it to have cool nights and warm days. We're finally there. I'm going to record it. And number three, half the functions on this piece of shit doesn't work.
Wow. I need to
Yeah.
get with you after the stream, or maybe I'll just message you on Instagram right now to see if it's because I don't want to name names, obviously. Um, because I'm curious if it is number one, or number two of these companies I just texted you. And I don't want to make that public because, not necessarily want to name names here. I sent you two names. You can just say if it's one or two or neither one. You're muted right now, though, by the way.
Neither one.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just curious.
In fact,
Well,
I have two videos on optics from the second.
you cut out from me again there. There you go.
So StreamYard keeps muting me.
Interesting.
Like I
Yeah, I see it. Okay, I see it. Yeah, there's some. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not touching anything and they keep muting my mic.
Oh,
Like,
geez. Maybe they're trying to shut down the stream.
but yeah, I actually have two videos from the second company you sent me.
Yeah, I'm working on a video for that second company. That's the item gets here tomorrow, and I will say it's something you mount behind the red dot, and it allows you to do some fun things. Well, in other parts of the time of day other than daylight. I'll just say that it's a new product.
Stifler Manufacturing is in the house. Stifler, great company, great people over at Stifler. They're just down the road from me. I did a video on one of their slides. Yeah, good stuff. One of the best slides in the business. 100%. One of the best slide companies in the business. So check out Stifler Manufacturing, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Tucson, Arizona.
I have yet to work with them, but I have seen them show up in the chats of the live streams and on my channel too. Stifler, if you guys ever want to, I don't know, make a video happen, let me know. They seem like
Uh,
good people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you asked before I got a chance to ask, Dick. So what do you got coming up?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I really can't show it on the channel, but this weekend I am getting ready to drop test another red dot from Gideon Optics. I'm getting ready to finalize the testing of the TX22 FRT. I'm getting ready to swap out a bunch of parts and do a bunch of trial and error to get the AP5P FRT working from AS Designs. And I'm working on possibly getting this one back here. That one, that is the PSA Jackal 300 Blackout with a Hollow Sun thermal on there with a super safety in there that I'm going to be finally getting to shoot as well and trying that out tomorrow to see how she does. And I have a Chris Vector coming tomorrow that I have to go pick up along with that Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS because there is a company, I don't know if you heard about this, there's a company that is getting ready to release in about 1 week a FRT for the Chris Vector, and I told myself a long time ago I would never buy a Chris Vector unless there was a way to make it full auto, or if it was full auto. Not the FRT's full auto, but you know what I'm saying. Um, so they've developed an FRT that's coming out next week. Duality Arms, if you want to look them up, not a sponsor. Just I've been following their stuff lately, and they are getting ready to finally release their product, and it works with Gen 1, 2, and 3 Chris Vectors. And I am so excited about that. Like, I cannot even tell you. Chris Vectors, again, I've always wanted to have, but I can't really justify it because the price, but also just the fact that it's like, yeah, it runs, but it really is meant to be like a full auto or simulate a full auto, force reset kind of style. Like that's the only way it makes sense because the cyclic rate is so fast on those things. And of course, I've got chambered in the Lord's caliber the way it was designed, 45 ACP. So no issues with trying to find the right grain bullet like you do with 9mm to get to function and cycle and be substock and all that good stuff. So I am so excited about this. I cannot even tell you. It's one of those dream guns, and it's not out yet for a few weeks, but they're also in the process of finalizing. And I just see this because I follow them on Facebook. They're also making an FRT, this same company, Duality Arms, for the P90. And I love Stargate SG1. I'm absolutely going to make a full-blown cinematic AI generated parts Stargate SG1 themed intro to pick up a PS90, whatever it's called, the civilian version, with the FRT in there, and go full-blown cinematic Stargate SG1 cosplaying and show that off too. Because those are two guns I've always wanted, but it never really made sense to get them until now. I'm like so freaking excited about it. And that's the kind of content I want to make because I'm super excited about it. And I think people are gonna be excited about it too. I'm just saying, I can't wait. It's gonna be a couple months out from now, but I can't wait.
Is that it?
I mean, there's other stuff. I've got this Fostech AR that I want to do and a few other things, but you know how it is, man. I feel like there's always something, like there's always something that I'm going to be working on for the foreseeable future. I have yet to run out of content. I've yet to run out of anything to film. I'm sure you can probably relate to that. It's just like there's always something that I'm interested in that's coming out.
Oh yeah, there's never a shortage of things to film. It's what I want to film. Like, is that um well, cool. Sounds good. I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Chris Vector. I've shot full auto Chris Vectors. I've shot a few different ones, and they're always been kind of fun. And they've never really been my bag though. They've never really been my thing. So
I'm excited to try. I've never shot one, but I'm very excited to try it. I like. I'll put it to you this way, man. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the secret. You ready? This is for everybody watching too. Okay. Some people will put out content for their channel that's like, okay, this is the duty grade stuff. You have to have this. If you're going to be the man that's going to handle any situation out in the middle of the desert, not Arizona, but Afghanistan or anything like that, you have to have this duty grade stuff, this duty aim point acro, the highest quality Daniel Defense M4V7 or whatever it is, Sons of Liberty. And there's a place for that. There's lots of channels like that. You know what kind of videos I like to make? I like to make the guns that are kind of weird. I like to make the weird ass guns like P90s, Chris Vectors. Hell, the PSA Jackal has such a bad reputation, but the reason why I got it is because I just think it's fucking cool. I know it may not be reliable. We're going to figure that out. I'm going to really figure that out and dial that thing in to get to work for me. I just like guns that are just fucking cool. And like this freaking, I don't know if you can see it, but the mac and cheese, it's that little gold one back there, the one that has like the Mac 10 upper and the aluminum CNC lower. I have to be careful with words because YouTube. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it works. And that's such a cool gun that I like to have just because it's different, And maybe it's because I'm a little bit younger than you, and you've been in guns longer than I have, but growing up, I always used to play a whole bunch of Call of Duty. And I was like, man, I really want this gun because, it's awesome in this game or whatever, or it shoots fun or whatever. Now they've got this. Have you seen Despot put out the G36, the American? Yeah. It's expensive. Can't get it right now, but I want one. Even though it doesn't make sense, it uses different mags. It's the same caliber, 5.56, but it has a fatter magazine. You can't use AR mags. Would I ever use this go in the war? Absolutely not. But it's like, for me, I love it. That's kind of why I like it. Obviously, I've got my go-to guns for serious shit hit the fan, just like we all do, But for me, I just like getting the weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of like the weird stuff that's almost like art depicts life or life depicts art. You know what I'm saying? Where we're seeing stuff that, for example, okay, here's a good example for you. Hollow Sun Thermal, the one that's like a red dot thermal. It sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't make sense. It's a small window, small center. You can't, it's not really practical compared to like typical traditional thermal sights, but I got it. The reason why I got it is because I thought it was fucking cool. I thought it was cool because in Call of Duty, I could throw that smoke grenade down, have a red dot with thermal, and just start icing everybody on the other team, or if it's Warzone or whatever, I'll do the same thing. I know it's terrible. Am I a man child? Yes, I am. But I fucking love it, man. I mean, and I think that's okay. I have respect for basically all firearms except for SIG P320s, but that's kind of why I got into it, really. And kind of having the YouTube channel helps justify all of this crap that was never otherwise bought. I mean, could I use this stuff if I had to for like a serious situation? Sure. I mean, is it going to be my number one go-to? No. I mean, I've got an AR for that. I've got a gun for that, a pistol. I've got designated stuff. That's my everyday carry stuff or my shit at the fan stuff. But I like options. It's just kind of like how people have like a car collection, and they have all these different cars for different things or whatever, It's like, for me, it's not really a matter of do I need it? No, it's just stuff that I want. And I mean, I'm okay with that. What are your thoughts on that? I know it's kind of a big spill.
Well, no, I mean, I think weird guns are fun. That's sort of why I did the I can't even remember the name of it now, but the that little pull and release single shot 9mm. I can't remember the name of it. It's made in Phoenix. That's why I did that. That's why I got the Bond Arms Derringer that I'm getting ready to review. Mm-hmm. It's because fun weird guns are fun and weird for a reason. I may get into more of them, like for the channel. Mm-hmm. It just depends on if the channel keeps going after next year. But I may get into more of them. I almost bought a Turkish. God, who makes it? Oh, imports. SDS Imports.
Yes.
Makes a semi-auto 12 gauge shotgun. That's kind of a radical looking thing. I was thinking about getting one of those and trying it out. I've heard they're pretty good. I don't do much shotgun content on my channel either, so I mean that'd be a little bit different. So yeah, I'm with you as far as like different fun guns.
I mean, I'm not saying like it doesn't make monetary sense. I'm not saying what I do and why I buy these guns makes monetary sense. There's no need for me to have a KP9 that's 9mm, along with the mac and cheese that's 9mm, along with like several other sub guns, MP5K and AR9, all 9mm. It doesn't make sense to all do the same thing. They all have different tolerances with reliability, but it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, like, this is kind of the current chapter I'm at. Now, I'm sure there's going to be another chapter where I'm probably going to want to do long range stuff. And maybe I start getting into different types of long range caliber, 6.5 Creedmoor, 338 Lapua, or like someone said in the comments here, 50 BMG. All of those are, well, some of those are very, very expensive guns to get into. But this is kind of just where I'm at right now. And the problem is, like, not problem. The thing is, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I've got the military law enforcement experience. I have zero military or law enforcement experience. I've never been there, never done that, never claimed to. Some people are okay with that. Some people appreciate that sort of like, I mean, some people appreciate the experience, and I get that, but some people almost appreciate just the cosmetic appeal of having that appearance. Like I get sometimes comments on my channel where people are like, "Oh, don't listen to this guy. He's wearing a t-shirt and basketball shorts." I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? It's like freaking 90 degrees outside. I'm sweating my ass off up here. I don't want to, be dressed up in all military garb. I mean, I know Grand Thumb does it, but it's just like, why do it? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be comfortable and be real with people on my channel than try to pretend and have this facade of, yeah, if you're going to be behind enemy lines, if you're a two-man team trying to evade the enemy, this is what you need to do. I'm not going to be that guy. I don't
Yeah.
have any experience doing that stuff. Like I'm just a dude in East Tennessee that has a little bit of extra money here and there, and I choose to put it towards this stuff.
Yeah.
That's all there is
So
to it.
speaking of a little bit of money here and there, is there any of your like sponsorship or affiliate stuff you want to give a shout out to lead people to possibly support your channel a little bit?
Oh my God, please. Yes. Okay. God, I was hoping you'd ask that, but I wasn't going to ask it first. If anybody wants to support me, obviously you can like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff on my channel. That's cool. But if you are, say you're wanting to try some of the red dots out, some of the Siley red dots, use 10 Tactical. I put it at the bottom of all my videos. And I always put it on my reviews too. But the code 10 Tactical will save you 10% off all their more expensive dots, the Pro, X Pro, EDG, HDG. There's a bunch of them. I can't even name all the weird sub models that they have, but TN Tactical, I believe it's TN space Tactical, will save you 10% off on most of their stuff on their site, not Amazon, not any other place, but on Sealy Optics, their own website. That really helps out a lot. I was actually surprised. That's like my only real affiliate link that I have. I mean, I've worked with Gideon, but I don't have an affiliate link with them, at least not yet. Maybe they'll send me one soon. That'd be great. Of course, I get Amazon stuff here and there, but really that's been, well, honestly, that's been lately more than my freaking YouTube revenue, to be honest with you. It really does help out a lot, especially when I'm making the FRT videos or thermal videos or anything that YouTube doesn't really like. It really helps out because none of those videos can get monetized. And that's how I pay for ammo and, well, getting other cool stuff to try out too.
Well, good. Yeah. So everybody, when you are looking for your next Siley optic, use TN Tactical for 10% off and help this gentleman out. I don't know which way
Please.
he is. I don't know which way he is in the video, but I know which way he is alive, but I think he's over here. Help this gentleman out while you're in the giving mood. Check out Copper Jacket Arms. That's the scrolling down below. RTT 10, that is my company. RTT 10 gets you 10% off at Copper Jacket Arms, ammo, accessories, firearms, a whole 9 yards. So I do appreciate that. I run as many specials as I possibly can to make everything as affordable as possible. While you're at it, check out Works Holsters. Works is a sponsor of the channel. And my chosen holster company. So check out Works Holsters, some of the best holsters out there in the market. One of the best holster companies. Fantastic people, fantastic company. Always upgrading and innovating their holsters. I can't say enough nice things about them, and it's not because they're a sponsor of the channel. Like I said before, been using their products for a long time. And same with Rise Armament. Rise Armament RTT 20 gets you 20% off Rise Armament. Anything on their website, from parts to accessories, triggers, and the whole 9 yards. Everything except for the Frankenstein trigger that they have right now. They have like a special for like an oddball Frankenstein trigger that they kind of mash together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise trigger that you get, and it's really inexpensive, but the discount code doesn't work for that, but it works for everything else they have on their website right now, and it does help out the channel. I 100% appreciate all the support I can get out there. Also, Jake mentioned at the bottom of his videos, if you go to the bottom of any of my videos, any of my pre-recorded videos, you'll see a link that says promo and discounts. That has a whole bunch of discounts, from Gideon Optics to Gators glasses to Camerado clothing, a whole bunch of stuff, core essentials, belts, whole bunch of discount codes in that, so you feel free to go check that out as well. We are 5 seconds from being done with the scheduled end of the program. Any last words for the fine, upstanding, fantastic, beautiful people? You're the most beautiful people out in the chat room.
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me on here, Matt. Really do appreciate it. Hope it's not the last time. And if you guys want to check out more of my content, lots of red dot torture tests, plus some of that stuff I talked about coming out, check out TN Tactical on YouTube. Again, we also have a small Instagram of TN Tactical 21, as well as on X, TN Tactical 21. That's just the only number I could come up with. But yeah, the main things on YouTube. Check us out. Videos every Friday are going to typically be your gun review content kind of videos, but we also do sit down views like this Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, or just whenever we really feel like it. So we appreciate your support.
And I appreciate you coming on, man. It was last minute. I wasn't going to do anything tonight and decided, you know what, I'm going to keep it going. Next Thursday will be a full video, a full pre-recorded video. We'll see what happens after that. But until next time, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate
Yes,
everybody
sir.
out there that was commenting. Thank you to Mud Munitions for those gifted memberships. That's awesome. I appreciate that as well, my brother. And we will talk to you guys later.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.